Well, if you're planning to travel to Europe this year, be prepared to deal with some new rules. This will roll out in stages. But starting today, Canadians will need an Electronic Travel Authorization, known as an ETA, to travel to the UK. Passengers can apply online. It'll cost just under $18 Canadian. Meanwhile, the rest of Europe will be putting a similar system in place at some point later this year. So joining me now with more on this is Fouzia Younis, British Consul General in Toronto. Hi, thanks so much for taking the time.
Hi, Lindsay, and Happy New Year to you and your viewers.
Happy New Year to you as well. Okay, so I guess to start, when we're talking about this ETA, what exactly is this? What do Canadians need to know if they're applying for it?
Okay, so roughly every year, about 1 million Canadians visit the UK, and over half of them come from Ontario. And so this new ETA, the Electronic Travel Authorization, is basically very similar to what we Brits have to do when we visit Canada. And this is permission to travel to the UK. As you have said, it roughly costs about $18. £10 in UK money, and applicants have to go onto gov.uk. We've also got an app called the ETA app. Log on. It takes about 20 minutes to go through the application process. Most answers to your application are you get them within minutes, but sometimes it can take up to 3 working days. And so we're encouraging people to apply well in advance of going to their holidays to the UK.
Okay, and so this applies to 48 non-European countries, obviously Canada included in this. What's the reason? Because when I first think of this, I think of the visas for Venice now, and that's obviously because of the amount of tourists that were going there. Is it along those lines, or is it more of a security measure?
No, it's so this is going to enable more a better digital, streamlined process of arriving into the UK. This is although it's new to the UK, it's not a new concept, and many countries, including the United States and Canada, already have similar schemes. So when my family visit Canada, they also have to apply for an ETA to visit here. So this is all about ensuring that we keep our travellers safe, those who are either coming into the UK or who are travelling elsewhere through the United Kingdom.
Okay, and so this applies to all Canadians, all ages?
Yeah, all Canadians. So this is a scheme that we've been rolling out from last year. So we rolled it out successfully in the Gulf last year, and then now we're rolling out to North America, Canada and the United States, and also to Australia. And then later on in the year, we'll also roll it out to Europeans as well.
Okay, and I think
every Canadian has to apply. Every Canadian will have to apply for an ETA, unless, of course, they're a dual national and they hold a British passport, in which case they can just travel in on their British passport.
Got it. Okay, and I think you did mention this near the beginning of our chat, but how do Canadians actually go about applying for this?
So you have to either go on gov.uk. There's also an app that you can download from either Google Play or on Apple Store. But then what I would also encourage folk to do is to make sure that you go onto official websites and official apps, because we are aware that there are some dodgy websites out there as well where people are trying to profiteer from this. So that is a red flag. If anybody is charging you more than £10 or more than Canadian $18, then make sure that you check it out and go onto the official websites.
Okay, that's actually a very good message to know for Canadians who are looking. Fouzia, I really do appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me online. Thank you.
That is Fouzia Younis, British Consul General in Toronto.